Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Good day, faithful listeners, and welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast. My name is Matt. I'm your host. I live in Prescott, Arizona. I don't like the cold. I don't like the snow. But I do like movies. With me, my good buddy, on the other side of the planet, maybe not the planet, the other side of the country, mysterious Michael Talent.
Oh, why am I Michael? Why it's so formal? I don't like it, Matt.
Michael.
What is this, The Lost Boys? We already reviewed that.
Yeah, we already did that. But, any chance to revisit one of the greatest teeny bopper vampire movies ever, it's worth it. Way better than that Twilight garbage.
You don't like the shining vampires or whatever? I don't know.
No, I do not like sparkles. Vampires don't sparkle.
Yeah, sparkles.
It's ridiculous. So, all right, Mike, speaking of things that are not sparkly, this week was your pick. It is a film on the old Netflix with a giant Marvel Cinematic Universe tie-in right on the cover. We're talking about Outside the Wire. Mike, you want to do the little thingamabobber you do?
Yes, Matt, I will do the rundown. All right, so Outside the Wire is directed by Mikael Hofstrom, and it's written by Rob Yescombe and Rowan Antle. It's starring Anthony Mackie, also known as Falcon, Damson Idris, Enzo Salentri, Emily Beecham, and Michael Kelly. And in the near future, a drone pilot, a.k.a. our host Matt, sent into a war zone, finds himself paired with a top-secret android officer on a mission to stop a nuclear attack.
Dude, I am not a drone pilot. As much as you want me to be one, Mike, I am not a drone pilot.
I know it really pushes your buttons, so I always like to call you a drone pilot.
Well, all right, Mike. Thank you for calling me that. So, okay. I don't know, dude. This movie was okay. The concepts were interesting, but the execution wasn't great.
It kind of started out as a familiar kind of story with the save the world from a nuclear attack, like we've seen so many times. But I did like some of the questions and some of the kind of near future stuff that was shown in this. I thought it was pretty neat with the Gumps, the like automated soldiers. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's like some of the best parts of this movie was the integration of robots into the battlefield and how you see they're just like standing there taking bullets and then they start figuring out ways to take them out. I mean, that honestly, that's probably some of the more interesting aspects of this film. And I wasn't a huge fan of the actor that did the drone pilot. I thought he did okay. I thought he could have been better. I don't know. It was okay. The sci-fi-ness of it was fun. How's that?
Yeah, the sci-fi-ness of it was pretty fun, and it asked some important kind of neat questions, especially towards the end there, that we will talk about a little bit more after we do a couple questions here. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. The special effects most of the time were pretty good. There was occasionally it was a little hokey, but I thought overall it was pretty good for the special effects, and that helped keep me in it. Yeah, it was. I think it could have been better, but I wasn't disappointed with it. So I like this movie.
I wasn't disappointed, but I think it could have been better. I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed myself, but I don't know. I guess having such star power as Anthony Mackie, I expected it to deliver a little bit more. But you're right. I mean, the special effects were pretty good, Mike. They weren't awful. I've definitely seen a lot worse, especially for a Netflix film.
Yeah, no, I thought they did a good job with it. I think they used their graphics budget and stuff in important places, and it turned out well.
Let's see. What else can we talk about? Do you think they call them Gumps because they're stupid like Forrest Gump?
I don't know. I kind of wondered if there was some tie to Forrest Gump, because I felt like it was kind of funny. But maybe they're just a little bit slow and not quite. I don't know. But they're really good at soldiering, just like Forrest was.
That's good. Or do you think it's just like an acronym? It's probably just a stupid acronym, as much as we want it to be something cool.
It probably is a stupid acronym, knowing the military. The military is very high on acronyms. Everything's an acronym.
So, okay, Mike, well, let's see. The story was typical on most levels, save the world from nuclear holocaust. Takes place in Europe, Eastern Europe, which there's not a whole lot of movies that do that anymore. Had an okay cast. Acting was okay, except for I wasn't a huge fan of the drone pilot guy. I also didn't think that was super realistic either, that for being punished of killing people, they sent him to a war zone. I figured they would just court-martial him, but, maybe things are different in 10 years.
No, man, I actually think it kind of made sense in a military type way. Send him out to the front line, and if he makes it, I guess he can live.
Yeah, but in the real world, they wouldn't do that. Come on.
I don't know, man. I don't know. To me, it seems somewhat fitting. But that's just me. I did like, there was some kind of cool action scenes. There's a couple cool ones that I kind of liked in there with, the drone human dude. So,
well, what action scenes are that, Michael?
Just some of the building scenes where he's kind of there's a scene where he throws an incendiary device and then he shoots it. I thought that was kind of cool. I thought it was pretty neat shot. It was a little quick, but I liked it. You know what I'm talking about, Matt?
No. Was it when he kicked a grenade and then shot it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know if that was an incendiary device, but it was just a grenade.
Yeah, but it was still cool, man.
I liked when I guess I can say Russian people, I don't know, the Russian gangster people, whatever, figured out that they could use magnetic grenades on the Gumps, and they were throwing them, getting 20 feet away, and the magnets just suck right onto the Gump. That was interesting.
Well, I don't know if it would quite work that well, but I thought the idea was quite, poignant. How do you take out I was like, oh, that's a pretty good idea.
No, it made sense, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think I think a magnet for it to work that far away would have to be quite a bit bigger. But I mean,
Yeah, well, maybe they're using those crazy ones. I mean, I doubt you would be using those ones that are super strong. But even those need to be close. Yeah,
they do.
They're
giant.
I forget what they're called, but they're just super strong. And you can use them to hold all kinds of things and crazy.
Even when they use those giant magnets to pick up cars, they're still right on it.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Yeah, that was kind of cool. I also like the Russian gimps or gumps. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Mike, it's not Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, bring out the gimp.
I'm sure they might have those, and they're probably called gimps. Maybe, I don't know, instead of gumps. Go get me the gimp. No, the prettier one. Terrible, Mike. Terrible. But yeah, no, they were interesting, especially how they were on all fours and then would bolt themselves down to the ground. And then they had a much more powerful weapon built into them.
Yeah, I think it was to handle that weapon. They basically had to mount themselves. I thought that was kind of cool. I mean, it was a different. it showed that they had a different idea of what could work with the soldiers and stuff. So I kind of like that concept of the different using robots in different ways to help, take out the enemy and then also not lose as many humans. Although these ones were fairly mixed in with the humans, so lots of humans were still lost.
Yeah, right. Explain that one. Like, they're still having quite a few human beings intermingled with only a handful of robotic soldiers. So do you think that's what we will see in the future, or do you think it'll just be teams of robotic soldiers like at the end when it was just like the Gumps?
I don't know. I guess maybe you would phase it in slowly to like help train them. Maybe if they start doing stuff, you're like, hey, no, what are you shooting at? That's dumb. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the way that the near future and all that stuff is going, and machine learning is great, but what it is essentially just teaching you everything you can do wrong, and then telling you the few ways you can do it right, and then all of a sudden you know how to do everything, but through lots of trial and error. So, like, for machine learning to be able to do, like, map for like pictures where it identifies what kind of dog it is or whatever, they fed it like millions of pictures to be like, hey, this is this kind of dog. And like people like train the machine.
So do you think that's how they would be able to train the robots, is they would have to be out with, but then would it go to like a central database, or would just that one be trained properly, and then when it gets blown up by a magnetic grenade miraculously from 20 feet away? You know what I'm saying? Or do you think it just goes to a central database?
No, it would have to go to a database for it to work well. And then they'd all have to download from it, daily or something. They'd have their charge session, and then they'd also do downloads of the latest AI models based on the machine learning.
So they're not going to be Wi-Fi?
I mean, there might be Wi-Fi, but I feel like when you're at war, you might lose the signal.
Well, then maybe they should connect to the cell towers. 5G.
If they're in war in a different country that doesn't have 5G, they might have to connect to the satellite. But hey, Starlink's got it. It's fine.
But Mike, this is a way that we could militarize Verizon Wireless. We can get them a little bit of that military money,
Oh, yes. I'm sure Verizon Wireless needs a little bit more money.
Well, I mean, they pretty much control the FCC as it is, so why not give them some more?
You're absolutely right. Let's give them some more money.
Okay, Mike, so speaking about spending money, do you have a question you want to ask me?
Oh, yes, I do, man. What are you drinking this fine evening?
Well, Michael, thank you for asking. I'm drinking a Dick's Mountain Amber Ale from Dick's Brewing Company in Washington, the state of Washington. It is delightful.
Nice. Not too hoppy for you, man? I know you hate the hops.
I don't hate the hops. I just am not a big fan. It is an amber, so it's a nice, mild, brown, flavor-filled beer instead of some bitter, hot, soapy garbage that you just took a sip out of. Okay, Mike, what IPA? Come on, go ahead.
All right. So mine is it's not too bad. It's a hopping Nomad IPA, and it's a session ale, so it's not too strong, and it's not too bitter, man.
So, Mike, now that marijuana is legal in Arizona, are we going to have to start doing a "What Are You Smoking" podcast too? Like segment?
I don't know, man. I guess it's up to you. I think I think I would be abstaining, so it'd be more on your side.
Michael, I'm not allowed. My lungs are damaged and messed up as it is, so I can't.
So you got some gummies?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's all about the worms.
Nice.
Not the bears. The bears are okay, but if you're really trying, you got to get the worms. They're a little bit more potent, and you can have multiple ones, but you got to watch out because they're creepers.
All right. So you have your purple sticky gummy.
Purple sticky icky gummy, yeah. Okay, Mike. So I don't know how to go from purple sticky icky to Marvel Cinematic Universe, so I'm just gonna ask, Mike, how does Outside the Wire from 2021, because there is another Outside the Wire from 1996, relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Well, man, as you alluded to earlier, obviously Anthony Mackie is our MCU tie-in for this one. And he plays Sam Wilson, a.k.a. Falcon, in numerous MCU movies. But I'll go ahead and name them. Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, and Captain America Winter Soldier.
And what about the new TV show?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't watched it yet.
It's not out yet. It's not out until March. It's going to come out. They're going to roll like right after WandaVision.
Okay. I tried to watch WandaVision. The first episode was really weird. So I will watch more of it. It was just the first episode was strange.
Dude, that's what it's supposed to be. That's why it's so good. There's so many little hidden Easter eggs in every single one of the first 3 episodes. And then episode 4 blasts the whole thing wide open.
All right. I mean, I'll get through it. It was weird, and I was like, I'm gonna have to watch this in a different mood.
No, dude, it's really, really good. But if you know your Marvel Cinematic Universe history, or Marvel history helps even more, you will start picking up on things. But, since you're way behind everyone else and we're all keeping up with the show as it rolls out every week, you'll just power through it and it'll start explaining because you'll be okay.
Okay, good. I want to be okay, Matt.
Well, but it's interesting to discuss what certain things are and what this is and what that is. And I've listened to some podcasts and, Stacy's called and asked me hey, what is this? And what is that? I know you like Marvel and the comics, and what's this? And so, but you'll just be like, I'll just go on to the next one. You'll just binge it all. It doesn't have the same effect as watching it every week.
Ah, I see.
It makes you ponder and think about things.
Okay, well, I can still watch it weekly. I mean, even though I could binge it, I can just watch it weekly.
Yeah, but we all know you're going to binge it, Mike.
I might have a bit of a binging problem, but that's okay. They tell me that's okay. They say with the pandemic, binging is okay. Alcoholism, not okay. Binging, okay.
Even during the pandemic?
Even during the pandemic, not okay. I know, I asked.
Okay, I was going to say, because that sounds just disappointing.
They really frown upon it. Sorry, Matt.
Being in the COVID world isn't like being an alcoholic and stuck in your own house, kind of almost like being in rehab in some ways, because when you run out of beer, you can't really go get it.
No, you just order it online.
That's
true. It just comes.
That's true. I forgot. I guess we can spoil it. I don't know. We've already pretty much spoiled a lot of it. We didn't spoil the end of it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's. I like the questions that the, let's see, Captain. What was his character's name? Captain. Oh,
Stubby.
man. No, it's not Stubby.
Leo.
Yeah, Captain Leo posed towards the end there. He's like, you killed 2 to save 38. He's like, you'll kill millions. I'll save hundreds of millions. It's like, wow. It's almost sort of Thanos-like from the Avengers.
Very much so. And the old switcheroo.
Yeah. And then, I guess it had some aspects of Training Day in it. I don't know, this movie reminded me of lots of other movies. It reminded me a little bit of Black Hawk Down for some of the ways that it was. And it reminded me of Training Day a little bit with, what's his nickname? D-Wash? Yeah. With D-Wash. Denzel Washington, for our listeners who maybe didn't listen to the last couple of podcasts where we review a Denzel Washington movie. But anyway.
Everybody loves D-Wash.
Yeah, Training Day, kind of where he's like a new guy and it's his first day and then he's kind of thrown into like all kinds of shit. That's kind of what this was like. It was like he basically reported to duty and like, I don't know, 30 minutes later he's outside the wire and he has no idea what that is. And, it's just rough out there. And
he has the seasoned, more badass soldier dragging him along, holding his hand. And then all of a sudden, magically, he starts becoming a badass at one point.
Oh, you mean our trainee?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if he becomes a badass. I mean, he kind of gets rocked. I don't know. I feel like he's just there. He's stumbling along through it.
But he still took out Anthony Mackie's character, who no one else could take out.
He let him.
You think so?
Yeah. He knew that he was going to die either way. He did the math.
But he wanted to end all the wars, so by attacking America, so why didn't he wait and let that happen before he killed him?
Because then the movie wouldn't have progressed, Matt. Come on.
Dude, I would have rather, I know it's dark, but I would have rather have seen that ending. Where, Anthony Mackie's character successfully, creates a nuclear holocaust.
That is dark, Matt. That is dark.
Well, it's just different. Instead of, everybody he saved the day and it's a happy ending. And I don't know.
Well, the beginning drone strike was kind of interesting. Like, I don't know why he went ahead and did it anyway. But, it led into the movie. But, Matt, I do have a question. When Captain Leo was like, oh, yeah, there was a launcher in that vehicle. It was a good call. You think he was just manipulating him?
Like Captain Leo's the one that sent the launcher over there?
No, that Captain Leo was just telling him that there was one. He doesn't know that there was, right?
No, the drone pilot guy claims that he saw it with, the cameras, remember?
Yeah, right. I know. But, Captain Leo read the report, and so he might be using that to be like, hey, like reinforcing that mindset.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he probably is, because isn't that one of the things about Anthony Mackie's character? He's also supposed to be a master at manipulation, specifically human emotions and human manipulation.
Yeah. So I feel like there might not have really been a launcher in there, and that was the beginning of setting him up to groom him to do these things. Like take out his weird backup chip thing or whatever.
Well, he tricked him by not saying it was a backup chip or whatever. He said it was a tracking chip.
Yeah, well, of course.
So, but a tracking chip versus a failsafe chip, completely different.
Right. But I'm just saying the way that he like slowly manipulated him into doing different things by, just feeling him out and stuff. I guess he was a master of manipulation. I did like the scene where he touches his hand. He's like, what's it feel like? He's like, warm and tissue. Then he touches his arm and it's cold. It's like, yeah, well, I figured I'd have to shake hands or whatever. I was like, that was kind of cool too. Like, that was smart.
Yeah, no, that was the government decision. Yeah, that made sense because, yeah, he will be, shaking hands with people a lot.
Yeah, but that was interesting that they just kept that part to be like more fleshy or whatever. I thought that was cool. I thought that was a good touch.
Well, another question is, if Anthony Mackie's robot is so like advanced, then how come the Gumps aren't smarter than what they are? Wouldn't they want to add like another 25%? Sure, they don't want to afford or can afford to do the level that the badass soldier robot guy is, but wouldn't they want to have like an extra 25% into the Gumps so that they don't get their asses blown up all the time as much?
Yeah, I would think that would happen. So I'm not sure, but it was vague on how many there were of his style, if he was just a one, classic, need to know type thing, and you don't need to know.
Well, that's what my guess would be, is that they could only afford to do one of him. And instead of protecting him, they just threw him in the middle of the mix. And we're like, do your thing. Let's see how well this really works before we make some more.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Well, okay, Mike, what did you think about the race line?
What do you mean the race line?
Why Anthony Mackie's character was black, and why the robot explains why he's black instead of a white person.
I mean, it made sense. I mean, from a universal standpoint, right?
Yes. No, I agree. I just was wondering if you think it was a story choice, or if it was just a affirmative choice. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it was a story choice. I think it lended to the story just fine. And, trying to have somebody who could, be kind of more akin to all of the different cultures around the world. I don't know. It made sense to me. I didn't question that at all. I was like, oh yeah, it's a pretty good idea.
Well, I'm not saying questioning it. I'm just saying if you think it was the director and the writer blatantly trying to say something about race, or if it was just a story thought.
I don't know. I don't think so, but I mean, you never know. Sure. I mean, they could have been, but I don't think so. But I mean, what do you think, man?
I don't think so. I'm going with, I think they were trying to make it more interesting and explaining why he is the way he is, which makes sense, being that it might actually personally be a statement on war and how the war zones are never fought in our own backyard. It's always fought in other people's yards.
I mean, there was a little bit of that with the USA and like kind of, we always send our peacekeepers, and it's kind of a ironic term for soldiers.
Yeah, well, I think that's exactly what it was. It was just more of that.
Yeah, I guess, the world as a whole is probably kind of tired of, Team America policing the whole world. We could probably just let them do whatever they want as long as they don't blow us up.
Team America World Police?
Yeah, Team America World Police.
One of the greatest puppet movies ever made.
Yes, indeed. Just a great movie. I mean, it just happens to have puppets in it.
When are we going to review that, Mike?
I don't know, man, but I can't wait to talk about how, freedom isn't free, and it costs you and me $1.05.
God, there's so many movies, man, that we can do. There's so many, but we gotta get on the new ones. The new ones are, I don't know. I mean, we don't have to, but
it seems like they're cranking them out now. Like it seems like the gears are really rolling with the different things, and all those movies that they have on backlog, I think they're just going to dump them to streaming. So we're going to start seeing more stuff.
Like, for instance, I watched a movie the other day that I haven't seen in a very long time, and it was much different to me as an adult than as a kid. I just randomly ran across it and decided to watch it on Valentine's Day. It was City Slickers.
Oh, dude, that's a great movie.
I honestly don't think I've watched that since high school, and it was much different as an adult, especially the beginning. You actually get a lot of the really messed up adult humor in the beginning.
Okay. All right. What was that, on a streaming service, or
it's on HBO? Yeah, it's on HBO Max and HBO.
I might try and watch that. I haven't seen that in a long time, but I do remember it was quite funny. Yeah,
it was very entertaining, especially there was one part where they're talking about how to set up the VCR to record something while you watch a different channel. And it was like, we just would never even have this conversation today,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, geez, these days, we have DVRs or digital DVRs that just do stuff for us. Like, I mean, we're super spoiled, man. Like, spoiled with all kinds of stuff. We're spoiled that within a few seconds we can start a movie. That's amazing over the internet.
I think it's one of the reasons why the pandemic hasn't been worse is because we've had this access to all this content. Can you imagine if we didn't have the internet during the pandemic?
Ooh, man. I guess it'd just be divorces and fights.
More than what we already have, yeah. It'd probably be pretty crazy.
Yeah, it'd be real crazy. I mean, imagine with no Zoom and stuff, like we couldn't do anything, like for work. Oh, geez. Zoom or Skype or any of those teleconferencing teams. I don't know. There's quite a few of them out there, but I think those are the big ones.
Just video conferencing.
Yes. Video conferencing. Let's go generic. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going with generic. Yeah. You listed all of them off. I'm going generic.
Okay.
What's really weird is that my work, we've been using Zoom for like 2 or 3 years, and then all of a sudden the pandemic hits, and like everybody's like, "What's Zoom?" And everybody's using Zoom, and we're like, "We've been using it for a while." Not the way that we use it now, but we were using it, when we had to do stuff long distance.
Oh yeah. I've known some people who've used Zoom for a little bit, but I was not too familiar. I mean, I knew what it was. I just didn't need a reason to use it. And then, well, that reason came about a year ago, and now I'm a Zoom Pro.
Microsoft really dropped the ball on that one. They had it cornered, man. They had Skype forever. Oh, well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They've muddled up their offerings with their newest thing, Teams. Matt, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's like Skype, but like super weird, and it has too many features, and it's kind of bloated. It doesn't really make sense, and they kind of forced it to all the business users, so it's cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that a corporate thing, using Teams?
Yeah, tends to be, and Microsoft, they were sneaky on this one. Basically, they're like, hey, if you have Office and all this stuff, here's Teams. And they just like gave it to everybody.
They just slid it on in there, kind of like Internet Explorer.
Yeah, and they're like, hey, if there's a pandemic, you guys could use this. Just saying.
Or Edge, Yeah, the number one thing people use Internet Explorer and Edge for doing, installing Chrome.
Nice. Well, dude, the new Edge, after they delete the old Edge, is Chromium based.
That's weird. Hey, whatever works.
Yeah, man. They're helping Chrome fix the problems with Chrome. So like memory problems. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I still have Firefox and use Firefox on a lot of things, but a lot of websites do not like Firefox like whatsoever. Especially video and interactive stuff like Facebook really does not like Firefox. They get very angry at it.
Yeah, definitely when it comes to like website design and stuff, people aim for Chrome. So often, what you should do is test it on all the major ones, but that's not a thing. So that doesn't happen. So everybody just does Chrome and calls it a day.
All right, Mike. So let's do it. How many reels do you give Outside the Wire?
All right, man. I like this one. I'm going to give it 3.5 reels.
Well, all right, Mike. We're back to our not normal. I only give it 3 reels.
Oh, wow, man. Look at you being harsh.
And I was actually teetering between 2.5 and 3.
Wow. All right. Well, hey, whatever, man. That's fine. I guess, you can be rough. Maybe all this cold winter over there is really, making you bitter. I don't know.
No, it's my age.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. You're right. It is your age. Your veins are hardening and you're just getting more and more angry. Gotcha.
Yep. I need to get Roto-Rooter over here. Clean me out so I can eat some more bacon at every meal.
Yeah. And do you just sit on the porch now and go, damn kids?
Yeah. I yell, get off my lawn, even though it's just gravel.
Yeah. You're like
smoking my pipe in my rocking chair.
Yeah. Your pipe full of marijuana.
Yeah. Well, It is legal now, so.
Yeah. I mean, we're just trying to prevent glaucoma.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know what? That's probably why I'm yelling at him to get off my lawn, because I think the gravel's really a lawn.
Oh, man. Man, I guess that's some good stuff there.
Yeah, it is. It's the sticky, icky purple worms.
Nice. It's not the Acapulco Gold.
Acapulco Gold. Yeah, what's that movie? What's that from? That's is that Blow? Right? That had the Acapulco Gold?
Yeah, I think so. I think it is.
Yeah. That's a fun movie. Well, not fun, but it's a good movie. Fun is probably the wrong word. But
yeah, probably not fun, but interesting.
Yeah.
About how, it became like the giantest distributor of cocaine and then blew it all.
Or snorted it all. One of the two.
Yeah. Well, for sure. But
okay, Mike, continuing with movies.
Yes, Matt, what are we going to review next week? That's what I was about to ask you.
Well, Mike, this is a new one that came out in December. Did it come out in December? Or was it January? I think it's still in the theaters, though. Am I right? I'm right. Yeah, December 25th. It came out on Christmas Day. It was filmed in Santa Fe, New Mexico, according to the IMDb's. That is Tom Hanks' latest news of the world. I've been wanting to watch this one since I saw a few trailers for it. I don't even recall Tom Hanks ever doing a Western before this.
Yeah, he kind of did. I mean, it's not a Western. It was an old time gangster movie. What was it? Something Road.
Road to Perdition is not a Western.
Yeah, The Road to Perdition. Yeah,
that is not a Western. That's a gangster movie.
All right. I'm trying to think of.
Didn't we even review that?
We did.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I like that movie. It's a good movie. I bought that one.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of its name. I couldn't think of its name.
Well, yeah. So this one is about a Civil War veteran agrees to deliver a girl taken by the Kiowa people years ago to her aunt and uncle against her will.
Well, I'm sure it'll be good. It's got Tom Hanks in it.
It does. Tom Hanks. Let's see. It's directed and written by Paul Greengrass. I'm doing your job for you next week.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Paul Greengrass. He's done some interesting stuff. I think he did Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Dude, that was a fun movie. I really like that.
And some other movies. He changed his name, though. It used to be something different. Like, for whatever reason, he's Greengrass now.
He did United 93 and The Bourne Ultimatum. And also The Bourne Supremacy. And a few other movies. So, anyways. All right, well, that'll be next week. Mike, sound good?
All right, man.
You still there?
Sounds good.
You falling asleep or?
Yeah, no, I'm still here. Still here, man.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else to add, so stop looking at your porn on your iPad, and or are you fixing your iPad because it's a Mac and it's a piece of crap?
No, it's working fine. All right. Well, I can take us out of here, Matt. Thanks for listening, everybody, and make sure to follow us on the socials, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And, go out. Well, I guess you can't go. I don't know. Do whatever you want, but try and watch some movies. At the theater would be great. If not, we understand. But go watch some movies. Go enjoy some escaping from this weird time that we're living in. So, thanks, everybody.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.